Good evening and welcome once again to Requiem for London. And a busy night, it seems, at least for two kindred who've met earlier in the evening, and now one of them is perhaps still lounging about, you know, getting to know the good citizens of this fine city. He's getting an email message from someone he's met not too long ago. Um, yeah, the message will read, So, hey again. Got some more free time now. You needed to see the harpy, correct? Well, if you're up for it, meet me and there will be an address. Meet me here in 45 minutes. I need to look good in Elysium and I can point you the right way. Natalia.
The response will be simply see you in 45 minutes.
And so it was. Yeah, Natalia will seem a little bit stressed, maybe. Not, well, about as well, that weird mixture of uneasiness that you saw earlier. But yeah, she's just standing outside smoking as you arrive.
I will pull up. Is there a valet at this place?
Much likely, yes.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah, I'll pull up and give the keys. I am driving a 2010 Aston Martin Roadster. So get out, give the keys to the valet, take my ticket, smile as I walk up to Natalia.
She rolls her eyes a bit. You know, if I didn't know better and know that kind of car is a douchebag car, you do know that, right?
Of course I do.
Right, you're not douchebag, so. Well,
I know.
all right.
But I'm American, so I have to get an Aston Martin. I mean, come on.
Isn't that a British car?
Well, it is, but it's also the James Bond car. Yeah.
Right. You just ooze secret agent. Well, I suppose you're beautiful enough. Oh. All right. Fuck it. Okay, let's go. And she just throws the smoke away, and yeah, she will probably just they will just ride in. You'll notice that she will walk a little bit in front of you, but not much, and she'll just look at you. But you'll know how it is right here, like with everything and uh, security and stuff, right?
Indeed.
Good, good. All right. And yeah, Natalia will do the normal thing and see if she can get in.
Yes. Victor, as you approach the club, it actually looks fairly baroque from the outside, although judging from the faint strobing neon lights from the inside, you'd assume that you'd assume that the interior is anything but. There's a long queue of people waiting to get in. Your typical club goers, perhaps on the slightly richer side, mainly comprised of young kids with too much money and not enough time and sense. And Natalia, you are able to get in pretty quickly because you've already been in once before. You're a recognized face. Victor, you are briefly stopped by two, a man and a woman, both fairly tough looking. They have a very militant posture to them. Wearing long coats shades and an earpiece. Would you like to make me a quick wits weaponry roll?
Sure. Wits, and then so that's. I can make that a dramatic failure. I don't. Yeah.
And
I'm
you're not sure
oblivious.
why these people are even stopping you. Who are these assholes to get in your way?
Hey, can I help you? Ooh, handsy.
Would you mind showing us your invitation?
I was with her. I don't have one.
Natalia would just say, she will whisper, he's here to see the keeper. Not official business. He's with me.
We're outside here. Who is this guy? I've never seen him around town before.
He just got here. He just moved here.
Okay.
He's with my. How many people are present? Like, is it only us that can hear what's going on?
No, you're just outside by the VIP entrance. So there are people potentially within earshot.
Ah, okay. He's with. He's with me and my interest group.
Really? I suppose it makes sense. He's got the suit and all. All right, Adam. Check this out with the host.
When they do search me, I am smart enough to be unarmed.
Yeah, the woman will search you. The gentleman, apparently called Adam, will go into the building. Or he doesn't really go far into the building. Rather, he just kind of walks halfway into the door and then begins murmuring something over his earpiece. He seems to get a pretty quick response as he walks back in the middle of you being searched. I assume you don't have any weapons on you.
I do not.
Okay, that's good. They only give you a pat down. It's nothing too serious. All right, you can head on in.
Well, thank you very much. Well, sorry to have been an inconvenience.
No problem. Take it.
And I will make my way in.
Don't make Blanca regret vouching for you.
As they're inside, she just goes, I mean, I still can't believe how polite you are. I mean, given your situation, I would be really fucking pissed.
They're just doing their job.
When you enter, Blanca, it's still perhaps a little bit jarring. It's just the second time it's happened, but for you, Victor, you feel a sudden wash of calm come over you when you enter the building. It's kind of like crossing a threshold. As soon as you enter the building proper, you kind of feel your beast recede.
Very cool.
Back into the depths of your chest. It becomes more quiet, less prominent, less pronounced. You're already sated, so the fact that this is you almost feel human in how contented you are right now and how serene you feel.
I like this place.
Yeah, it feels good somehow.
The club itself is a cyberpunk club. There are very angular walls and ornaments kind of decking all over the place. There's everything. everything that's not attached to a wall is glowing and rotating and has very, very fancy lighting.
Victor is he's just watching everything. He's it's like he's scoping the place out for possible, like for his club, hopefully. He's got a big grin on his face.
This place is quite a diverse scene. It's got the various subcultures you'd expect from a cyberpunk club, but it's also got the more casual types, people and just sort of the like just going out looking to have a good time, get a drink. You got some more affluent looking people in a booth sort of away from the dance floor, just chit chatting away. It's quite an interesting little setup they've got going on here, or quite a large one actually. It's a very busy club. The dance floor is more or less full. It's hard not to walk and run into people unless you're heading to the VIP section. There's a bar all the way at the back. It stretches all the way across from one wall to the other. Again, with kind of glowing neon rims, kind of a black varnished boarding, and these flat screen TVs that just line pretty much the length of the bar, showing all manner of channels, largely news and sports. Therefore, a few niche channels, but largely sports and news. A few
Very
music
cool.
channels.
Very, very cool.
So, can I ask you something before I find, like, I'm guessing you're not a gambling person. It wasn't you that, well, like, you didn't lose your freedom in a bet,
No,
right?
no. That was the sire.
It's so fucked up. I mean, honestly, like, once we parted, I was a little fucked off, like, pretty fucking pissed about it, you know?
I understand.
Still don't understand how I can be so calm, but, well,
Well, this place helps.
it does. All right, I'll be a moment. And Natalia is gonna go ask to see if the keeper is around.
Keeper isn't on the main floor, where you guys are at right now.
Oh, she's gonna try and get into the VIP area. That's the first place she's gonna look.
A lot of people are staring at you. You are quite pretty looking. You're a very pretty looking person. Very
That's how I roll.
striking, one might say. Both of you are, in fact. People there's people wondering if you're hitched or whether or not they should approach you and ask you to dance with them.
It's not as though people can feel the beast getting angrier, but Natalia tries to just ignore them because, yeah.
And I'm, of course, the exact opposite, doing the, oh, yeah.
They just finger guns you back. Oh man, new kid on the town. Who's this guy? People feel very enamored by you both, but it's a bit difficult to avoid the very curious and interested stares that people give you, as you are just both so beautiful. But as you begin to move up to the VIP, people begin to look a little bit disappointed as you walk up, kind of wishing they could join the pretty people in their private club, their little high society gathering, their glitz and glamour. The VIP area is kind of like a more done-up version of the main floor. It's a bit smaller. You've got the same bar room set up, same TVs. The bar sits in the center of the room and it's in a circle though. There's someone tending to it. They register as mortal. They have no predatory aura. But you'd reckon they're probably aware of what you are. Given that you can faintly smell blood coming from behind the bar, and the fact that they seem to really not, they don't seem to really be paying much mind to the other kindred in this area, discussing things quite openly.
I have the smile and the general look of a tourist at the moment, so it's like, it's so awesome.
You actually, while Belenko isn't necessarily paid much mind to, you do draw a couple of stares, Victor, just because people haven't seen you before, and they sort of give you this sort of it's a look of vague suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
But Natalia, you do see the harpy. Dressed up in the same attire as yesterday.
Huh. And yeah, she'll come up and she will just greet her and just say, "Hey, good evening. Good to see you again. I have someone who would want to speak with you if you have time."
Oh, really?
Yeah, very new person in the city.
I can imagine. If I'd seen you once, I wouldn't have been able to forget.
Well, thanks. And Natalia was just trying to get.
I was complimenting him, but you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
I've already seen you once before.
Yeah, I know. I misunderstood.
You were very whelming.
She just Victor. If it was because I thought Victor wasn't here, but okay. Yeah, she would push Victor forward, but just Victor.
So tense.
Yes.
She kind of gestures over.
Is this the lovely Madame Shade that I've heard so much about?
Oh heavens, no!
No.
That'll be the person that runs this place.
Ooh.
Oh, Hombre Ramon.
Sorry.
Local harpy.
Local
Tends to
harpy.
the local gossip column.
Oh, gossip is always interesting. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Victor Mantis. I will hold out my hand.
Oh, pleasure. So, from where do you hail from, Mr. Mantis?
Overseas in the Americas.
Ah.
Arizona, to be exact. Little sunny for my taste.
You from any particular holding, or are you striking out on your own?
I'm striking out on my own.
Independent?
Member of the Invictus, actually.
Oh. You should have an interesting time then.
One can only hope. Interesting is a good thing.
That's about that. Do you know if the boss is in? The boss lady is in? Because Victor has, I don't know. I think it would be good for him and her to meet. Just,
Oh, I'm your messenger now, am I?
No. That's not what I meant. But you would know if she's in, so I
Oh
would be
no,
natural
please,
to
just
introduce
I,
you.
I
And
am but a simple waitress. Allow me to go round back and fetch my boss for you. I will get you the manager so you can
look,
complain.
that's not at all what I said. I just, you would know if she's in or not. So, and you've never met Victor, so I wanted to introduce Victor. And is she trying to bullshit, or is she making fun of Natalia?
She's absolutely fucking with you, yes.
Okay, yeah, because it will take to about now before Natalia goes, oh yeah, right.
No,
She
I'd
kind of
appreciate it if you didn't treat me like your glorified courier.
right. I'm going to get a drink. Can I get you anything? Any of you?
Oh, I'm good. I've got enough to drink upon right here.
You, Victor?
Red wine, please.
Was it?
Yes.
Red wine. Yes, I got it.
You're an
And
absolute
Natalia will just
beast,
fuck off.
Natalia.
Oh, goodness gracious. So if you don't enjoy being treated like a courier, how do you enjoy being treated?
I enjoy being treated like a harpy and someone who can give information to those who need it.
I understand.
And roast a few people who need some roasting, like Natalia. I mean, I gotta get
I
the
heard
that.
Natalia seems nice enough. Everybody I've met has been quite wonderful so far.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're fitting into London. Have you presented yourself to the prince yet?
I have not. I was going to be at the Last Elysium, but he was not there, and so I am waiting to find out when he is going to be in presence, so I can make sure to be there and properly present myself.
Well, I can handle that for you. Well, I suppose the seneschal could, but I can contact the seneschal and get that sorted for you. It's something you might want to do sooner rather than later. The law enforcement of the city is quite to the point.
Understand. I would appreciate that greatly.
They've been clamping down on unappointed visits recently.
Understood.
Both within and without. But
one cannot blame them. Yes, I would appreciate that greatly.
Natalia comes back with drinks. She just passes one to Victor and just. Can I ask a question? Why is it particularly me that needs roasting? Just out of curiosity.
Well, when you treat a harpy with disrespect, you get a roasting. That's more or less how it works. It's not like I'm breaking convention or anything here.
No, but
I think
when did I treat you with disrespect in any way?
Her eyes flatten a little bit, and she gives you this all honey look. Maybe you should tell your sire what you said, and he can explain it to you.
I apologize if I have meant any offense.
You know, that's a very good start. But anyway, Victor, what did you want to speak with the keeper about?
I am in. I've always been in the business of hotels. I would like to buy one, and I'd like to turn the bottom into a club as well. But I also don't want to step on the toes of anybody who has the monopoly in that.
Yes. Well, she's not the only game in town, but she is by far and away the largest, I suppose.
Yeah, I figure it's better to have a conversation with her than not.
No, that's fair. She, pretty much anyone who has a venue around this city pretty much has it on her watch, so I would say that's the smart play.
I try to make those the occasional smart decision, but sometimes my youth fails me.
Well, we're all young here. We can all make stupid decisions together. So you're a businessman. You run hotels.
That's what I've
back home.
I did. I did. I sold it away before I moved.
Oh, and well, speaking of poor decisions, she looks at Julian. That is timing.
Goodman will look over to the keeper and
Harpy,
yes, true, Harpy. And his eyes will glint in a moment of flash of irritation. There's a moment where they don't look human, they look more primal, but then they flish back to human, and will just simply say, "Greetings."
hello there. You having a sulk? You look like you're having a sulk.
I heard there was another willing face to help with the investigations. And he looks over to the man in the suit. Are you him?
I'm always willing to lend a hand doing whatever. I'll hold out my hand. Victor Mantis.
So the man will present his hand and shake yours firmly. Mr. Goodman.
It's a pleasure.
And he nods to that. And yes, there's the investigation on the potential murderers and apparently new drug on the streets.
Oh, yes, I heard about this. It's been making a cacophony recently.
So good. Those who have a sense of, let's just say, principles will then be involved. The masquerade must never be in danger.
I mean, duh.
So does the sheriff have a direction that he wants this investigation to take?
Oh, the sheriff rarely, I don't think, has ever revealed himself before the city at large. Not even I know what he looks like. I assume it's a he. Everybody refers to him as a he, so I assume so. Rumor is only the prince knows who the sheriff actually is. People call him the Hand of the Prince.
Interesting.
Nickname. Granted, I wouldn't make fun of it. Only I get to make fun of it. I actually have a right, but everybody else, I would consider it very unwise. One could call it a very fatal decision to make.
I have better things to do than make fun of people that don't deserve it.
See, Julian, you could learn from this man.
And you say this to me despite the ringmaster saying the words he say. That seems odd. So, Mr. Mantis, the Archons you want to speak to, they have different opinions and different focuses.
Understood.
Ringmaster, have you knows possessed of more status within this city than you? I'd show some respect.
They said, the ringmaster has status, but does not have the merits to give me. They have me a reason to give him respect. I am more than
Relevant
willing.
to your status, you will show him respect. That's not how it works here.
Good. Good. He nods. He said, "Aye." So,
Shouldn't have to tell anyone that. She just kind of, her gaze kind of ends up shifting from you all to the bar. She looks vaguely annoyed.
no Mantis, the ones you want to speak to, depending on your specialties. If you're out for a hunt, speak to Archon Mort.
Archon Kozlova.
And he nods, as in the player forgot Kozlova is his last name, not his first. And
Nosferatu, stern fellow, not much for talking. Don't really like him, but he does his job well. I like to think he represents us neonates very well.
Then the Archon Fane is if you want to do some research and investigation.
Oh. Maybe you'll even learn some manners along the way. Well, I'm going to leave you with the one polite gentleman here and perform my esteemed duty as a courier.
It has been quite the pleasure meeting you.
I thank you. And she's going to hop off and does not look for the keeper at all. She looks like she's about to, and then spends about 10 seconds doing it, and then just kind of ends up shrugging, and then just actually ends up wandering over to these two people. Both of whom are particularly, like yourself, very, very beautiful people. The woman with the long hair more so. One has sort of this these sort of long curls that go down to about medium length. The other has just long red flowing hair and very pale skin, even for a kindred. You can see with they're both wearing very, very, very expensive looking dresses. From one of the shorter hair. It looks slightly older as well. She looks like she's maybe 5 years older. Early 30s. The one with the long hair looks like she's in her late 20s. And the woman with the long hair is wearing a sort of a very glitzy, very glitzy dress. Shows off her arms and her shoulders very elegantly. And the woman with the medium length hair, neck length, has a much darker black dress. It kind of almost seems to blend into the shadows, almost in an ethereal fashion. You can roll wits politics to find to discern who the woman with the shorter hair might be. The woman with the longer hair is unknown to you. None of you have ever seen her before or heard of her, but you can roll intelligence politics. Natalia, you get a bonus of +2 dice. Victor Mantis, you'll get a penalty of -2 dice because you are new to the city. You haven't really had a chance to meet any of the real players in town yet.
Intelligence or wits?
Intelligence politics. All of you can roll this. Natalia gets
Woohoo!
+2 dice.
I got a success.
Nice. Wow. Okay.
I got 3. 3.
Okay. Then okay, both Natalia and Victor. Victor, surprisingly, you've done some research before coming to London,
Oh, I definitely did. Yes.
getting to know the various power players, particularly because it's an Invictus city. They have a very particular hierarchy and a very particular process that needs to be followed if you wish to make yourself at home here. As a member of Invictus, you know this very well. You vaguely, and you, Natalia, have also heard of this person. You actually recognize her. One of the dossiers that you looked over, that Yasai gave you. This is Esther Grimald. She's only recently attained elderhood, but she's an elder notary of the Invictus. One of 3 notaries within the city. Very, very important title, as you well know, within the Invictus. She doesn't hold any city status, but she is known to have very, very privileged access to the city's upper echelons and its court. And as such, is considered quite a noteworthy kindred. She is very, very highly respected, and to the Carthians, somewhat feared, as she is one that can bind them a nose that they want no part of.
Very interesting.
The other one you haven't seen before, Tyler, you don't recognize her either.
Can you write her name in chat?
Yes, I'll write her name in the private chat for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Natalia's just gonna watch her go over and begin to talk, and she looks at Victor and Julian, and she just say, "Yeah, that's totally above my pay grade. I'm just not even going to. Nope."
It's pretty obvious Victor recognizes her as well. So.
Goodman will kind of just look at the women and shrug, and he says to the other two, "Who they?"
Bosses, or higher ups. The only thing that can really happen if you try to talk or budge in is hurt yourself, socially or worse.
Okay. And he nods to that.
Ombre flashes you a grin, almost as if she heard that comment.
Fuck. Well, yeah.
But as that conversation is ongoing, the keeper will enter, and Ombre will quickly jump up from her conversation. Ever so briefly, she beckons the keeper over. She ends up saying something. You can't quite hear above the music. She kind of enthusiastically points at you, the group of you, and ends up wandering on over. She was Victor. She is a woman who appears to be in her late 30s of lightly mixed descent, dark black hair, runs down to about her neck. Has a dress not too unlike Esther's. It's a nice black dress. She has this an absolutely beautiful necklace on, held together by gold strands. It seems to hold a very, very large diamond in its center. Good evening, my patrons. Good to see you again.
Keep
A
up.
pleasure.
I see you're involved in about as much drama as you were last time.
Wait, what?
She just smiles.
Oh, good.
Well, one of you. Well, yeah. Well, I'm just commenting on the fact that all of you seem very. All but one of you, whom I don't know, which may in fact be your advantage in this conversation, seem to be wonderfully apt at pissing off a local harpy.
The local harpy seems to have a high opinion of herself.
Well, she can. She's a harpy. That's how that works, dear.
Natalia just puts up her hand and says, and just points at Julian. I did not say shit.
Oh, you did.
And I apologize. You know what? I'm not even.
And she
It's fine.
accepted your apology and has noted it, and is probably why she has not brought the issue into a much larger spotlight.
It's great.
Because we
Okay,
both know
that's
she's
good.
good.
Fine. I'm just going to go sit over here and drink a little bit more.
Oh, come now! I'm not here to ostracize you as the harpy would. You can sit down. It's fine.
Yeah.
I heard one of you had a matter of business to discuss with me, and well, I do like good business,
That would
particularly
be
with Invictus.
that would be me. I'm Victor Mantis. It is a pleasure and honor to meet you, and I will hold out my hand.
Pleasure. She'll kind of hold out her hand for you to take it or kiss the ring.
I would do the kiss the ring thing. I would do very traditional things as offered.
She is pleased with this.
This is a lovely establishment that you have.
Oh, I thank you. It's my most successful venue I've ever had. I'm hoping in the near future that I can create even more illustrious ventures. I do love to hear people talk.
I can only imagine.
It's a hobby of mine. I'm a people watcher.
I enjoy watching people have a good time, so it's similar, only different. And I'm sure our reasonings are different.
Oh, I'm certain.
Yes, I do indeed have business to discuss when you have free time to do so.
We can discuss it right now if you want. I'm just going to check something real quick because she's going to do a thing.
Okay.
Oh dear. Okay. Okay. What would you what would you consider your character? Actually, put it. You can put it in your character's channel section. Define to me what would you consider your character's greatest vulnerability to be?
Mine?
Yep. You don't have to say it out loud. Just put it in the character channel.
Let me think for a second.
Okay. That's legit. Okay, as that happens, the conversation continues as it was. There is no pause.
Right.
But she simply says, "Well, would you like for this to be a public affair or a private one?"
As it may, probably private. Probably private would be best.
That's a shame. I was hoping you'd make this a circus. There is a ringmaster in town.
I was going to say, I've already heard there's a circus in town.
They could do it for competition.
Oh, goodness gracious, no.
She smiles at you, almost as if you're not sure if she's being serious or not, whether she's actually pressuring you into trying to make a circus or not. And her body language is very forward. The way she looks upon you is almost like that of a junior. Not necessarily a child, but definitely a junior.
Understood.
She seems to have a very lax attitude when dealing with all of you. Well, right this way then, right this way.
Okay.
Do forgive if it looks particularly bland. It's usually used for people who wind up taking one bite's too many or getting a little bit too rowdy.
Understood.
She leads you from the VIP room. Links into a corridor that ends up going downstairs, then a little bit further down into what you can only assume is a basement level. As you walk down one flight of stairs, you do realize once you get down to the ground floor, there is also a door there as well. So this would be accessible from the ground floor. You go down to the basement floor. You notice there's a lot of security here. There's a lot of security. The security here is extremely heavy.
Okay.
Not just on the basement floor in general. It's just something you've kind of noted in general, but it's kind of particularly pronounced now that there's less people.
Understood.
There must be a dozen guards on each floor, you assume. And she leads you into what is a white room. The desk in the center. And two chairs on either side. She'll sit on the opposite side. As two guards will go in with you. And both will, as you go to take a sip, both will just stand behind you in a very ominous fashion.
I try not to let it bother me. to look relaxed. I wait for her to be ready to discuss whatever.
She's gonna do a thing again. Okay, how nervous is Victor in actuality?
On a scale of 1 to 10, probably about a 6.
Okay. You see, Alara's eyes glint very briefly over to the two guards. It's for a fraction of a second. If you go, you're not entirely sure because they're directly behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But they do appear to move. Not from where they're standing, but they now appear to be holding something in their hands. You can hear that they do that.
Okay.
Sounds like something kind of heavy and plastic. Very, very modular.
All right.
So you want a club?
I reach into my coat, my jacket pocket, and I'll pull out pretty much the hotel I want to buy, and I'll show her. It's like, I plan on purchasing this. I would like to renovate the downstairs into like maybe a jazz club or something along that lines. But that seems to be your forte, and I don't want to step on your toes doing so.
I do, in fact, have a jazz club. So, and also, actually, it is important to note, where is it that you wish to establish this? Where is it that you're?
It's in one of the boroughs that the Invictus are allowed to dwell.
It's basically one of the inner city ones because most of them are in the city.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is very much within my sphere of influence.
And I understand this. That's why I wouldn't want to do anything without talking to you first.
I can respect that. So, you wish for this hotel renovated into a jazz club?
Well, just the bottom floor. I was going to keep the rest as an actual hotel.
Oh.
Put any of the. I was going to set it up for the inner rooms to be able to be kindred friendly, and
I may actually be interested in subsidizing this. As I said, I assume you have ample funding.
I do.
And the necessary connections to make this process smooth, simple.
I'm working on that still, but I think I can get it done.
Lots of very territorial kindred in this city.
I'm sure you were number one on my list of people to talk to.
And I am very glad you chose me first. She gives you a very very wide, affectionate smile. Like, it's very Oh, how polite of you! But there is just this sort of inkling of a predatory intent. It's
There
very
is
difficult to mask in this sort of environment.
understood. There is something though with in regards to Victor, he is probably the most sincere individual. Like nothing there's not even a hint of deception when he's talking. Like he's just and anything he's saying that's gratiating is straightforward. He's very
Noted.
naive.
If you're looking to if you're looking to mislead her in any way, I'll ask you to roll it. But she will simply go on. So, what would you be willing to offer me to overlook this, or maybe even invest in, subsidize?
I would happily
this
I would
enterprise?
happily take an investor on top of I would like to renovate an area similar to what you have to allow Kindred to be able to have their free spaces to be able to speak freely and things of that sort. And I was thinking that possibly, depending on if you're a jazz, well, most jazz clubs do live bands. So anybody I find, I would send your way that has talent for you to see yourself, and vice versa. If you have talent you would like to be able to get more areas of the city, I would open that up as well, as well as a percentage of about 10% of the door. Big smile.
Well, I would be very interested in this little venture of yours. It's quite experimental. I do like experiments. They're very fascinating to watch unfold. And every now and then we get a success. And I like success. I'd like for your experiment to be a success.
I love success.
I'm sure you do. So,
Is this
I would
something
be
that
willing to permit this venture, invest in it, facilitate the transition of your of ownership from this hotel to yourself, and for its renovation into a club, and for a safe haven for kindred in need. But I would require a few things. First is that I would require one instance each monthly of black rent and blood rent. Free access to the building and its facilities, including its security systems, should I request it. And a list of Oh, did I go dark?
all I heard was a free access to facilities is all I heard.
Okay. She would say she'd require one instance each of blood rent and black rent. Open access to the facilities of the venue, in including its more secure systems, and a list each month of check-ins and check-outs, if you understand what I mean.
Yes. Out of character, what is Black Brent?
Okay, so to summarize blood rent and black rent, blood rent is when it's a blood tax. You give your blood over to this person every month, a portion of it, usually to feed off of, but it can be for other purposes. There is also black rent, which is a service.
Okay.
Black rent is a service you perform for this person. Black rent, it's just kind of a general term for a service you provide. You can roll me wits. Either wits politics or wits academics, whichever is higher. Actually, no. Wits. Actually, no. A better one for this would be wits socialize. This is actually that's a way better stat than academics. Yeah, I'll say roll wits socialize. That would probably be better for this. It'll be minus her composure, which is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, she's pretty difficult to gauge. It's difficult. It's difficult for you to determine how reasonable a price this is, given that you're not really.
I'm young.
You're not sure of the extent of her control over the city's entertainment sector. Other than that, she's a big player in it.
Right.
But she seems very, very relaxed. She seems very, very confident in this arrangement.
I think the only thing I really would like to remove from your stipulations would be the blood rent, honestly.
She smiles.
I'd happily do the rest.
Excellent. I'm just going to quickly look up something. Don't actually know. That's annoying. Where are you? Here it is. Then I will inform all the relevant parties, and we can consider this deal settled.
Thank you.
We can formalize it via written agreement if you want. Obviously, this is a private verbal agreement between you and me, and all but 2 other people here are witness to it, and well, they're very biased parties.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Excellent. Well, I'm very glad. I'm very happy. Glad we were able to come to this agreement. I will.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, no, I should be thanking you. I must say, I've become rather aimless, being the only real player in town in regards to the leisure scene. So it'll be nice to have someone I could consider a partner in crime.
Indeed.
You can actually roll me wits empathy on that if you like.
Wits and what?
Wits empathy.
I'm terrible at all this.
Minus 4.
Then what you mean is I can't roll wits plus empathy.
You can roll a chance dice. If you get a 10, you succeed. If you get a 1, it's dramatic failure.
No, that's okay.
Okay. In which case, no, it's she seems very happy with
Good.
with the arrangement you struck. She seems very pleased to be dealing with you. And we'll just happily lead you out of the building when you when you both rise and you turn around. The two guards holster their guns instantaneously. And you'll begin being led out to the main floor again.
Out of character, the funny thing was my 6 in nervousness had nothing to do with those two. So them pulling out guns didn't bother me at all. I'm like, oh no, I got the shark in front of me. I'm not scared of them.
They're just there to kind of push you towards the shark. They're collateral. They're a contingency, nothing else.
Oh goodness. So I will head back. Is Natalia and them still upstairs?
Oh yeah, she's still drinking.
Yeah, I'll head up and
She can't get drunk, but she's drinking blood. But yeah.
Actually, this is something to note as you walk back up. I'm actually going to let me check something real quick because Daryl brings up a very good point. Roll me. All of you wits plus blood potency. Natalia can actually roll this as well because it's actually something relevant to her, but for a different character.
Wits blood potency.
Okay.
Nope.
Do you see?
I got a success and maybe one more. Nope, just one.
Nope. Ooh.
Zaga.
Oh, that's not in that dice roller. Yeah. So okay. Natalia, you can feel a fine. It's a fine thread. It's a fine connection. It's thin. It's quite slim. To the keeper, it's a very very thin, sympathetic connection. Julian, you sense one towards Victor, but Victor, you do not sense one the other way around. You would recognize Julian. You recognize Victor as a clanmate, but otherwise unrelated to you. Natalia, likewise for the keeper. She's of your clan. You can sense that connection, but you don't feel she's of any real relation to you. She's not related to your sire, you think? If she is, they're probably far enough removed that this is how thin the connection would be. But yes. But yes, Julian, you also recognize Victor as a gangrel, but nothing more.
when Victor comes walking back in, very animalistically, Goodman will kind of sniff at the air, then look at Victor with a almost, it looks like curiosity, but mainly confusion.
Victor will look puzzled. Everything okay?
I didn't notice it earlier. You, you smell like me.
I don't know how to take that statement.
Natalia's gonna try and butt in and just say, "Well, you're still walking. That's a good sign, Victor. Can't you join me?"
Of course. I will. I wasn't. I'm not ignoring Julian. I'll be like, I'm going to have a seat with this beautiful lady. Would you like to join us?
Goodman will more or less stand in his spot, just kind of looking around, still focused on Victor, and look even more confused with his response.
What do you what do you mean? I'm sorry. I'm confused.
He said, "You don't smell it?" I said, "I'm more surprised I didn't catch it earlier." You're a beast like me.
Well, I like to think I'm unique.
We are all unique. Whether or not we're relevant is a totally different thing.
Indeed. Hmm.
I'm in agreement of Natalia. Don't look like you've been roughened up.
No, not at all. It was a very pleasant conversation.
They
Sorry.
always pleasant conversations, as he actually makes air quotes on that.
Are you implying that my conversations are not pleasant?
Oh,
Mr.
she's still
Goodman?
there. Like,
That's sort of the thing with my cat. They just sort of disappear and reappear.
the player responds that way. The character will go. Like it's like I think you'll know what I mean.
Oh, I honestly, I couldn't say. Please elaborate on what you mean by your statement.
We always play the shadow game. Said, I'm very sure you are very, very good at it.
Are you implying I was engaging in some sort of game with Mr. Mantis and was not treating him with the respect he deserved?
Not at all. I assume that you will do what you feel is do best, as we all do.
I would hope so. She'll smile and she'll say, "But, ladies and gentlemen, I must part ever so briefly. I shall be reattending to release in but a short moment. I hope you can bear with me."
Thank you.
As she goes to leave, can everybody roll me wits composure?
That's plus composure.
Any penalties?
Yeah, I'm gonna say -3. This is pretty hard to spot.
Okay.
Nope.
Minus how much?
-3.
Nope.
I got 1.
I will probably make this a dramatic failure.
Okay.
Me too. Frank can do that.
You are absolutely certain that that the notary just slipped something into the harpy's drink. In fact, you're pretty sure she is attempting to poison the harpy right now.
Who is doing that?
The notary, the woman with the neck length hair, as opposed to the very long hair.
The very high up person in the Invictus that I'm not going to say a thing about because I didn't notice anything.
Yep. But you are absolutely certain that that she just attempted to poison the harpy.
Did I see if whether or not it worked?
Oh yeah, she briefly emits a cough.
Natalia's going to take up her phone and quite heftedly start texting.
Oh, this is going to be good. This will be good for later. But no, what you see Mr. Julian, is oh no, where's the picture of it? No. What you see is this. It's a little mouse that's just creeping along the a few of the decorative beams overhanging the bar.
I bet I know what that means.
So,
And when you look upon it, it registers as a vampire. The predatory aura is real.
And the
Appears to
keeper
be
didn't
sneaking
release
down.
this. We just happened to notice.
You
The keeper
haven't
s-
noticed.
The keeper seemingly has not noticed. She has not reacted to this.
Okay, so the keeper did not just have like a fellow vampire in her like her dress and just let her out. It's more like, oh, I've just noticed this.
Yep.
Natalia
and,
Natalia just stops texting mid-text, and she just looks at Victor and she's like, "Did you fucking see that?"
See what? I'm gonna roll. What do I roll for subterfuge?
No, you saw the poisoning as well, right? Or
Oh, in character, yes. Out of character, I said see what, or in character, I said see what. Out of character, yes, I saw it.
I
Yeah,
don't think you saw the poisoning because you didn't take a dramatic failure on the
No,
roll.
I did as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're both convinced that
yeah,
the harpy
that's
is
why.
being.
So Natalia's just gonna like, "Did you fucking see that?"
I did not. See what? No, I said see what.
That's fucking. What the fuck do we do?
You can empathy me to see if I.
Oh God, this is good. This is great. Which isn't that? Yeah, I think that's it.
Curse it.
Ah,
Yeah, he's very nervously lying.
you fucking saw it. You saw it as well. The fuck do we see? Check if you saw right? Do we?
That's the notary. That's the notary for the Invictus. I do nothing.
Right. Fuck.
As-
Natalia just sits there for a moment, looks at half of the text she's done, and she's contemplating whether she deletes it or what, because he's right. Sorry, on to the real point of the scene, and not two people being idiots.
Julian, what do? You see what appears to be a mouse hopping down off the beams and is sneakily making its way onto the bar table now.
has the keeper already left, or is she beginning to leave?
She's beginning to leave. She hasn't left yet. She's heading towards the door.
Okay.
To the door, Victor. It's to where the white room leads to.
he would move over to her, trying to just normally, and will kind of make a motion like with his arm to kind of make air blow into her to kind of get her attention.
What is it, Mr. Goodman?
He says in a hushed tone, "De Basto, someone has changed into a creature." Said, and he kind of gestures his head.
What?
He said,
She immediately, her eyes immediately shift on over. They immediately scatter. She looks actually surprised, more irritated than anything else. Her eyes immediately scatter to where you gestured to. It's hard for her to quickly spot. And actually,
"Oh, she's throwing around that Ospix, man. I'm pretty sure she can find it."
she also doesn't give you heightened senses in this game.
Nope.
All kindred have that by default. They just get stronger as you grow more potent in the blood. Her eyes scatter and they quickly narrow down on the mouse. But as the mouse as she spots the mouse, as you both kind of refocus on it, it's hard to keep track of. It's a very small creature and it moves quickly. You almost didn't spot it at all. It quickly begins to shift back up into a person. What the fuck, Jonathan?
I knew it.
Would I need to roll a blood sympathy roll against him as well? Or would I just know that he's Gangrel?
No, you sense no real sympathy from him.
Okay. So no, that means he's been learning things he shouldn't be knowing. That gets his attention.
Look, your goons wouldn't let me in outside, so I had to find an alternative. I'm not here to start shit. I'm here to have a chat with the fucking prince. Well, you're wasting your fucking time, and you're lucky I don't kill you where you stand. Look. As I said, I'm not here to start shit. I just wanted to have a chat with the prince because he keeps sending his fucking lackeys to my domain. So look, if you run into him, tell him this. If he keeps sending his fucking Tinker Toy soldiers to my fucking turf again, there's gonna be blood on the road. Understand? I don't normally pull this shit, Alara. But on my wit's fucking end now. This is getting ridiculous. We both know what the fucking deal is. He even made a goddamn announcement giving me that domain. He's still sending people to clean me up like I'm fucking side street trash. If I see anything even resembling a proxy of the prince, be it an Archon, the sheriff, or any pawn they decide to throw into the west side of Wandsworth, I'm going to fucking kill them. I've been nice. I've been civil. I've tried to keep people out peacefully, civilly. Only want to at my corner. Everybody in this city fucking knows that. Everybody relevant. Tell him that. I won't bother you again.
His last statement, I noticed there's way less heat. That gets
There's about half a dozen guns on him, by the way. He has not flinched to this. Like every guard in the every guard in this room, of which there's about almost a dozen, have their guns pointed at him from various angles. He was surrounded very quickly within a second or two. Escort him out of this building. Don't let him back in. Next time, secure the fucking air vent. Jesus Christ, that's amateur hour. Guess I need new grates. Everyone can roll me wits politics if they want. Victor, you're still rolling on -2 penalty because he's still a new arrival. And this is fairly obscure knowledge.
You said 2 penalty?
Yeah, -2 dice penalty.
Rolling my chance die.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Can we still succeed on an 8, or does it have to be a 10?
If it's a chance die, it has to be a 10.
It has to be a 10. Okay.
Yeah!
Oh, you got it! Yeah! Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay, Julian. You're not a politically minded person.
No, I am
You
not.
don't go around following shit on the street. Actually, people who have streetwise can roll it as well. This is actually something that would be known by streetwise.
Then I could
Oh.
roll that. Then I could.
But you already got a success. So you're not a politically minded person, but you did, and you're not very connected to the cacophony. You avoid these, as you correctly say, shadow games. It's politics. This has no value to you. It's more dangerous than anything else. But about 6 months ago, when the Elysiums were shuttered briefly, you did hear this rumor going around town about this guy called Jonathan Wandsworth. Some no-name neonate. Not particularly important guy. Wouldn't really be worth mentioning. If the rumor wasn't just the most scandalous thing you've ever heard, that this kindred had illegally seized the west side of Wandsworth from the Invictus.
Okay. That is weird because not only is he a neonate, they allowed him to keep it. So that is super concerning. And the fact that he has protein honestly bothers good men a lot. And he doesn't.
Rumor has it. I mean, there's no evidence, of course. I mean, obviously, the Invictus would have responded, right?
So, Invictus, unless he's a Carthian, which he's not, it sounds like he's independent.
Never heard his covenant mentioned. He could be a Carthian.
He's saying Carthian mainly comes his behavior because he's out to get the prince. But if he's an independent and he also has this territory, that's even odder. But it does make more sense why the prince would keep sending goons to mess with him as well, though. So.
And yet the rumor is he survived everything the prince has thrown at him. Rumor is even the sheriff.
And he's young.
Which is very strange. Because everybody in this city knows if you oppose this princedom, you go missing. So why is that neonate there? Of course, that might be why it's a rumor, because it doesn't make sense. It's illogical.
No.
This is probably complete nonsense.
That's
Probably a kernel of truth wrapped up in a series of lies, as rumors often go.
As the guns and excitement falls a bit, Natalia she's backed up against the wall, just as a thing. And she comes back, and she looks at the two others, and she's just like, okay, so what the fuck was that?
I have no idea. Someone named Jonathan.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, great. Okay, yeah, that would really help, because why wasn't there a firefight?
That'd be a bit of a risk, considering who that is. Besides, it's not like he actually hurt anyone.
And this place is still public.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
who
mean, there's
is-
definitely going to be kickback over that shit. I actually think he was pretty stupid, to be honest. Don't
So
think
who
anybody's
is
going to be
Jonathan?
happy with that. Jonathan? Oh, well, Jonathan. I've talked to him a couple of times. He doesn't really leave Wandsworth that much. He controls the west side. Prince gave it to him as domain.
The man is young too.
Hmm.
Not only that, if his statement is true, he's been fighting off the prince's assailants for quite some time.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. You know, it's true that he and the prince used to be at loggerheads about a year or so ago, but I mean, they've patched things up. It's more than likely. I mean, you've all heard about the domain breaches that have been going around. Wandsworth is, I mean, the east side of Wandsworth is Invictus territory. Wouldn't surprise me if he had to deal with a few himself. He's probably misinterpreting it. It's probably why he wants to see the prince to clear up the whole issue. It sounds like what he wants to do, but it also sounds like he's at his wit's end. He probably just doesn't want to kill somebody over dumb shit. Can't blame him.
And why not we speak with the Archons? At least Lady Thawne is easy to find.
Oh, you're talking about Saturn, right? Yeah, I guess you could go talk with her, but I mean that's never really how Jonathan's worked. He kind of goes against the grain. It's kind of a miracle he survived this long, really. But from what I hear, it's quite the interesting backstory. But nah, he tends to deal with people very directly. He's probably one of 5 people in this city who can get away with it, to be honest. And that's only because he's had to deal with a lot of baggage getting in his way. He's a bit of a special case, I think. Indisputably, if he's able to walk out of an Elysium after breaking it. Then again, I don't think he's being allowed back in. I think if he does come back in after that whole display, he will be shot.
What makes him so special? I mean, why is it he can survive? Like you said, a lot of baggage in his way?
Well, you don't go doing what he just did unless you're very smart and very tough. I don't really know the full extent of who he is and what he can do. He doesn't really go sharing his life story. I mean, who does, right? I mean, apart from me.
I suppose.
But he's been around for a few years. He's the center of a lot of gossip.
Interesting.
But if you want to know that, well, either you better be down with a cacophony or you better be willing to pay me a few favors. Because I don't blab for free. Only so much as to give myself a clean reputation.
Who did she say that to?
To all of you. I mean, John's always been nice when I've seen him, but he doesn't really seem to have the issue with me. It's everybody else he seems to have beef with.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I'd stay out of Wandsworth if I were you. To be honest, most of us can't even enter it. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend even trying it. Particularly given now that he seems to have resolved himself to sever the torso of whoever walks onto it. Bit of an overreaction, if you ask me. I mean, if the keeper can withstand him flagrantly violating Elysium, I think he could spare a few drops of blood for whoever just happens to wander into his territory, willfully or otherwise.
The man does want help. You see his reaction at the end of his argument. The heat was much less.
As I said, I don't necessarily think he's the worst guy in the world. I just think he lets his temper get the better of him sometimes. That said, if he's gonna start taking such a tack to people who just end up wandering into his domain, he's just inviting more conflict with the prince. As I said, I don't even think the prince is messing with him. Everyone can roll me wits empathy if you want, by the way.
Yay! I got successes.
Oh.
Nope.
How many successes did you get?
2.
Okay. She's very difficult to read. She's surprisingly subtle when she wants to be. But she appears to be deadly serious in pretty much everything that she says. She does not seem to she seems to be taking the topic of Jonathan quite seriously. I mean, there's moments of sarcasm, but she seems fairly severe when talking about him. It's difficult to garner whether or not she's sympathetic or irritated by him. She seems a bit of both.
Interesting.
To be honest, might be worth seeing if you can catch up with him. I'm sure somebody has his phone number. Might be worth asking one of the local maquette. She just starts eyeing up Natalia.
Right.
I mean, you guys have a reputation.
Yeah, I don't have his. No.
You could find
don't.
it.
Yeah, I could probably find out, but honestly, a person that attracts that much attention, I'm just gonna let him be him, and
That does seem quite wise.
yeah, I'm
I'd
not going to get involved.
I'd really love to see him in a fight sometime. I hear he's quite handsome, Beshat.
Natalia just does not respond to that, and she tenses up a bit.
Yes, a lot of drama, business deals, declarations of potential wars, and Julian and Natalia pissing off virtually everybody with an inkling of status in the room. It's a good night.
Thank you very much, Natalia, for bringing me here tonight.
You are welcome. She
No
just
thanks
is
for
a
me.
bit upgiving.
Huh?
Umbra just says, "No thanks for me."
I was
Jazz.
actually you were going to be my next thanks. She started the evening off by bringing me here. You made my evening fantastic by letting me meet you first off, and then secondly, you've gotten me you've given me a bunch of information about the who's who in town and done your position admirably and fantastically, actually. So it's been more than a pleasure to meet you. And then I've got a hotel I'm going to put up.
Mhm.
So it's been a very successful evening for me, and I'm very happy.
Oh, do show me around your hotel once you're done with it.
Oh well.
Goodman will look over to the keeper and simply say, "You'll be fine, Lady Keeper."
Oh, sorry. What did you say, Julian?
He'll look over to the keeper and ask if she is okay.
No, I don't tolerate breaches of Elysium within my domain.
He nods.
He takes a single step back in here, and he's going to be full of lead.
But if he said, he'll say, "Well, I hope that doesn't happen."
So do I, but then I would have hoped he wouldn't have breached Elysium at all. Her predatory aura is flaring. She's intense right now. That relaxed, casual demeanor, gone, dead. She's angry. And the beast simmers close to the surface.
Yeah, Natalia is just looking around. It's like, okay, I'm not going to piss off any more people unintentionally, so I am going to go and um, work. I will see you all later.
I
Have a
will
great
I'll pass Mr. Goodman a card and say it was how much of a pleasure it was to meet you, and I will ask Natalia if she would like to be walked out.
She looks at you for a moment like you've just asked her. It looks as though you've just asked her. The foreignness of the concept of what you just said just seems for like 2 or 3 seconds, and she just looks at you. Follow me.
Would you honor me to allow me the pleasure of walking with you
Makes
as you
it
leave?
even more weird, but sure. Okay.
I can't
Kinda
do anything
nod.
right with you.
She just nods. Still, it seems confusing to her.
All right, he'll walk with her. At least I didn't ask her to dance like I was going to earlier, but everything got all weird. Okay. So I gave people my phone number. All right.
As they come out, there is a cigarette in her mouth, quite fast,
I figured.
and it's gone really fast. And she just says, "Never a fucking quiet evening." Jesus, fuck.
Thank you again for bringing me. I'm sorry that it caused you any sort of stress.
No. It's that Harvey. She's hesitant for me somehow. I don't know why, but she does ask. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you very much for your evening, and I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, I hope to meet you as well. It's been a pleasure. An eventful day, but well, night, but you know, it's good to meet you. You're a decent person, which says a lot.
Thank you. I do my best.
I'm quite convinced that you do. She smiles quite genuinely.
And then he will head to turn his ticket in to get his car, his douche car.
Mhm. You will see that she will quite quickly, just stomp towards a a subway station. Chris, there is not a car waiting for her, is there?
A subway station, you say?
Oh yeah, I'm just once Natalia leaves, there is not a car waiting for her outside, right? Because there potentially could be.
Oh, yes, there is.
Fuck me.
There's no one outside the vehicle, of that you can see. But you can roll me Auspex plus blood potency if you wish.
Yeah, here we go. I'm actually looking forward to. No, I succeed.
Let's see. What? Okay, it's not bad. Just going to roll. Okay. Oh gosh, you're so close. No, you don't perceive anything.
Natalia's going to try and avoid or ignore the car and just move on. It's not going to work, but she's going to try.
A wiry young gentleman places a hand on your shoulder who you did not perceive.
Can I help you?
Madam, if I may, your...
Her shoulders.
He actually stops.
Her shoulders
Knowing
try
that
to.
that's all he needs to say.
Yeah, her shoulders try to get down. They don't really, but yeah, she just has a fairly normal. Well, she has a smile on her face, but well, yeah. And she will go over to the car, open the back door.
Yep. Ah, Natalia, dearest, it is good to see you again. Come, please, we have much to discuss. I've received some very concerning messages from you. I think
Yeah, you have.
I think that would actually be a good place to end the scene.
Thank you very much for joining the scene and for running the scene.
And thank you very much, players, for playing, watchers for watching, ST for seeing, and everything. Good night.